Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have fun diving into a fight rigging combo deck, which is so fun. This deck, I mean, I'm not going to brag or anything, but I have 100% win rate on the draw with my one game that I've played with it. I swear I built another. I think that I built another deck and played some because I remember testing this deck out more, but that's what stats are saying right now. I actually didn't have MTG assistant on for a little bit, and so maybe that's why. But this deck is super fun, and I'm excited to dive into exactly why this is insane and why you should be trying this out. So, fight rigging. 3-mana enchantment with Hideaway of 5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a counter onto target creature you control. Then, if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. So, we put this on the battlefield. We hope to find something like a Toxrill, a Titan of Industry, a Storm the Festival, Tovolar's Huntmaster, or anything that's free value I'm going to be happy with. So, we can play it without paying its mana cost. If there's any additional costs, you still have to cast those, but any mana cost, you don't have to play. So like something like Nullpriest of Oblivion, if I want to play the kicker cost, I can still cast it with the kicker cost, but I have to use the 4 mana to actually activate that ability, that part of the ability. The cool thing here is that we have some really good ways to get up to 7 power on creatures fairly quickly. Shakedown Heavy is one of those. 3 mana, 6/4 with menace. Whenever it attacks, the defending player may have you draw a card. If they do, untap it, Shakedown Heavy, and remove it from combat. So we play out fight rigging on turn 3 or turn 4. Like one of these, we want both of these in hand. We play one of them on turn 3. We play the other one on turn 4. We put the counter onto our Shakedown Heavy. It becomes 7 power. We get a free spell, maybe a Toxrill, maybe a Storm the Festival, maybe a Titan of Industry, and give Shakedown Heavy whatever. And the nice thing about all these creatures is that all of them are also, you know, close enough that one counter onto them will be able to give them the 7 power to make everything else be free. The hard part was that there's not a ton of other cheaper spells that really get us up to that power level, but what I found is that just having fight rigging on the battlefield is still super powerful. Having 2 of these on the battlefield, putting 2 counters onto a creature every turn, Eyetwitch starts hitting in for like 3 damage, then 5 damage, then 7 damage. This becomes a really powerful effect in a couple of turns. Gnarled Professor, also really good. We do have a little bit of like a reanimation part of this deck here as well. So the learn effect, we can go find stuff from our sideboard to make sure that we have some interaction. This is a 4 mana 5/4 that can get up to 7 with, you know, a couple triggers with fight rigging, which is really nice for us. But we can also just discard stuff from our hand to draw another card to try to dig for our fight rigging, try to dig for whatever else we need, try to get our Toxrills, our Titan of Industries in the graveyard, so then we can use either Nullpriest of Oblivion or Diregraf Rebirth, which is beautiful. We do have Deadly Dispute to kind of sacrifice some of our creatures, Shambling Ghast, Eyetwitch, to dig through to try to find fight rigging. Also just being able to sacrifice some of our creatures so that we can get Diregraf Rebirth to be a little bit cheaper. Whatever ends up working so that we can get out Toxrill on the battlefield, Titan of Industry, playing out Storm the Festivals for free or cheap, and being able to hit a lot of our other, you know, 5-drop and less stuff. Being able to go for Storm the Festival and get like 2 fight riggings on the battlefield is insanity. It is so good, so fun. I love it. Tovolar's Huntmaster, we also just kind of ramp up with Deadly Dispute and Shambling Ghast to get up to faster plays. And so ultimately, this deck is super fun. I've absolutely had a blast playing it with it so far. We're up to 61 cards just because I wanted to squeeze in the Agadeem's Awakening, Turntimber Symbiosis. It ends up working out pretty well. I think mana wise, yeah, I think I have 24 lands altogether, but I thought I had 1 more. You know, we could probably drop 1 Diregraf Rebirth and be right at the 60. Let's do that. Anyway, but like ultimately it works. It's been working out pretty well for me. So let's go and dive in the gameplay. Let's see if it continues to work, and wish me luck. Here we go. And we're good to go. I like this hand. Keep it. Let's see you guys. Bye. So fun. Shambling Ghast first. Fast turn, Deadly Dispute, so much mana. We were trying to get something in the graveyard. This is where I wanted the ability to learn with Eyetwitch, whatever, is to try to get some stuff in the graveyard for this. All right, so Gaida is terrifying, and we need to kill it with fire as fast as possible. Double Shambling Ghast could be interesting. Let's go ahead and attack in, see if they want to go for the trade. Do ya? Well, do ya? No? Weird. I think we're just going Deadly Dispute, trying to find combo pieces rather than getting these guys out. I want to try to find another black source as well, so I can play multiple things on a turn with this deck. So even the treasures for that is still useful. Yeah, this is a scary matchup for us because we usually win by being the biggest threats. But if Guide is out on turn 2, dude, we're in trouble. We're in so much trouble against this deck. As soon as they have multiple creatures, do they have a second Youthful Valkyrie here? Please say it ain't so. All right, they have some sort of removal. It's probably Vanishing Verse. Because that's why they made sure they use the Gaida, which I hate that you have to personally activate the Gaida to actually make it work. Very dumb, very, very dumb. All right, let's get some amazing draws. More lands, but we did find black mana. That's a Wrenn and Seven. It makes 3 3s at the moment. This only brings back creatures, right? So the Planeswalker won't really work. I could put all the lands from my hand to the battlefield, and then it'll die. All right, so we're going Eyetwitch, block, Deadly Dispute again, Wrenn and Seven on the next turn. And a 4/4 should at least be better. I could go Shambling Ghast as well. Just keep this back for a blocker for when I'm trying to protect Wrenn and Seven. Yeah, we're going to do that. I'm fine using 1 treasure to play this Deadly Dispute. Okay, kill the Eyetwitch. Grab Necrotic Fumes. I don't have a ton of black mana is the issue. Wrenn and Seven's pretty good. We have plenty of lands in hand. We just need more black mana, but I was hoping I would draw it there, so we're good. So yeah, now everything's fine. Pass the turn. Shambling Ghast. We found, okay, we need to find big threats. We are at 6 mana now available. Like, we could also just kind of try to hold off and play out bigger threats. The Wrenn and Seven token only being a 4/4 is not going to be enough here, I don't believe. Is that a Doomscar or a Starnheim Unleashed? I'm guessing it's a Starnheim Unleashed. Okay, so do we go for Necrotic Fumes here? Whoa, doing something early on. Fateful Absence. I'm fine with that. Yeah, more treasures. That kind of gives us a chance for like Diregraf Rebirth being really good. I can go Shambling Ghast, Necrotic Fumes, and I think I'd still have enough for bringing something back, but I don't have anything to go grab is the issue. Did not find enough of that stuff. Do I really need lots of black mana right now? I don't think I'm going for Necrotic Fumes. I think it's just Wrenn and Seven. The token will be useful even if Wrenn and Seven dies. Could have put all the lands from my hand to the battlefield as well. Okay, hopefully we can keep it alive and do that next turn. Because, yeah, 3 lands here, really nice. They enter the battlefield tapped? They do. And then everything's online. All the creatures. All right, they're at 19 life. Down to very few cards left in hand. That's good. That's very good. Not killing Wrenn and Seven this turn. Also very, very good. Oh my goodness, so many lands. All right, so we go for another black source. Guess it doesn't really matter now. Yeah, so black source. All lands. Enter tapped. Shambling Ghast. Necrotic Fumes. Is Gaida more scary than Righteous Valkyrie? I guess not really. It's close call though. That is a very close call. Oh, that's right. It exiles my guy too. Necrotic Fumes. I was hoping I could get this for 3, but it doesn't really matter. And then we pass turn. We got rid of the big threats, and now we're just, we have Diregraf Rebirth, so filling our graveyard is great. Wrenn and Seven is perfect here. This is why I have the 1 Wrenn and Seven, is because it really does fit really well with the deck. Honestly, might need more here too. This is the biggest question is, I'm playing a lot of reanimation stuff, and I could lessen up reanimation stuff for just mid-range, but it works so well, and maybe it's just finding the right numbers for everything. And I don't know what those numbers are or what they would look like. Okay, found some lands. There's... Professor's not bad. Professor is not terrible. You know what? We're going to bring it back with Nullpriest. Because why not? I got it here. I should have drawn a card first. Mascot Exhibition or Introduction to Annihilation. I think getting rid of their biggest threats is most important. So Gaida becomes insane if these are Starnheim Unleashed is. So we want to get rid of that ASAP. Basic Conjuration is not bad. Mascot Exhibition, of course, we can play, and it's really good. It gives us another flyer. We can start attacking with our big dude. We're going to go for removal first. Giving him a chance to draw cards is bad. Nothing else has reach, right? Last turn. We're just going to draw a card. We're going to try to get a Toxrill. Toxrill should solve a good chunk of the problems that we have right now. Getting to another plant, another tree folk would be really good. Yes, I don't know how I would do it, but I feel like the deck needs to squeeze in 2 Escalus Chariots and 1 more Wrenn and Seven, or maybe 1 and 1. And we probably just cut out, trim around the edges here and there. It might, even going up to 64 cards wouldn't be terrible for this deck. I wouldn't mind having 2 more lands and then 2 more effects, and that would actually probably get us to the right mana base. But when you're trying to do a combo deck, trying to find fight rigging, it makes it a lot harder to actually find it when you know, aren't doing that. Dude, so many counters, it's ridiculous. All right, so they played out a new Gaida, and what was out? What else did they play? Starnheim for 1. Okay. Draw. Come on, Toxrill. There it is. It's good. Okay. Do I make another reach creature right now? I can't bring back my Wrenn and Seven. It's part of the issue. All right, so we're going to go +1. See what else we get in the graveyard. 2 more good things. No lands to hand. Huzzah. Guess the visible one. I guess they're both. It wouldn't matter which one I played. All right, let's go Toxrill. Still have enough mana for an introduction to Annihilation. I need to get rid of the Gaida. So the question here is, what else can I bring back from the graveyard? Is there anything that actually is worthwhile? If this is another Starnheim Unleash, we need to get rid of this right away before they just make everything way too massive. Having Wrenn and Seven die here is annoying, but they'd have to go all out to do so, and we could actually win on the swing back. So, and they're getting a little bit smaller. So it's going to be a desperation play, but I think that's kind of all they've got. Brutal Cathar. Oh no, it takes the token. Oh yes, okay. They went for the Toxrill instead. Wrong placer. You gotta go for the token. You had lethal. Did they have lethal? Actually, I forgot that they would have been a little bit less, but I think they were really close to lethal. Brutal Cathar. I did not expect that. Makes sense though. It's a great card. Okay, block there. Take a ton and a half. If they have any more removal, we're in trouble. Play there. Bring back, I think it's Eyetwitch, just to have another flying blocker. Swing, swing. Gain some life. We're close to being able to play it again, huh? All right. All right, all right. Youthful Valkyrie number 3. Is that number 4 they found? No, it's just number 3. We haven't killed that many of their stuff. All right, they're going to have to be super defensive here as well. Ooh, yeah. Titan of Industry could be a little bit better, just to gain us life. So let's try to mill one more time. See what else we get in the graveyard. Shakedown Heavy, Storm the Festival. That's not bad either. I'm trying to think if there's ways I can win immediately. And if we find fight riggings with this, we could actually do pretty well. And Toxrill, I don't think is necessary at the moment, but it would be a way to kind of just shut them down. What else could they play to make it to where they can actually come back and win. A couple removal pieces would be really bad if they can find those. Let's go Storm the Festival. 1 fight rigging. Bummer, but we get another fight rigging. That's fine. Counters onto things is good. So now we get counters onto our lifelinker. Without the other fight rigging. This one won't trigger yet. I think it's Gnarled Professor over the Shakedown Heavy. Diregraf Rebirth. What's in my graveyard? Anything better than that? There could be eventually is the thing. View browser. We have one. We already have one. So we have Gnarled Professor. Drawing through too many cards could be bad for us. Swing. I swing with this right now. I think I gots to. Get myself up to 8 life. They'd have to hit one with 2 creatures. And we can probably be able to block the biggest one, so they'd have to have 2 more angels at the battlefield. Which one is this for? Which? Okay, so kill Brutal Cathar. Okay. And this one. What did I swing in with this one? I don't know what I'm doing. That was an accident. I meant to swing with just Nullpriest of Oblivion, and then I totally messed up. But I don't know why they gave us the Brutal Cathar and the Toxrill here. That's huge. I should have killed the Valkyrie. Oh well. Sweet, they give us the Toxrill. Okay, they must have board wipe. Yeah, Doomscar here. So they're trying to reset. We get a bunch of slugs. We get to grab a life gain. Let's go Mascot Exhibition. Preacher lands is nice. Yeah. Empty-handed. We had 5 cards in hand there. So much action in the graveyard. The only issue we're going to run into is milling ourselves out with Wrenn and Seven. And we would want to keep ticking up so that we can get to stuff, but we could stop that in time. That wouldn't ever be an issue. So great game. All righty. We're up against Nichiren, and we have lots of good early game stuff. Toxrill in our hand isn't exactly where we want it, but we do have some ramp. You know, whatever. We're looking for a way to discard that, really. We're looking for ways to find fight rigging, find all the good things. Play out Eyetwitch, though. Pass the turn. Yeah, we have a decent start. Nullpriest of Oblivion is kind of an awkward card for us. We do need it out there every once in a while in the early game. I think, yeah, fight rigging is sweet. So now I guess we're just looking for something we can make big fast. So we're going to hold on to Deadly Dispute, attack in, pass turn. I want to be able to get out fight rigging and still have some other things to be going for here. Not on blue, which is nice, so they shouldn't have a counterspell here. All right, we could discard this Toxrill to draw a card, try to find more lands, try to find some other stuff instead of going for these things. Environmental Sciences could also be nice here, but I think that I'm actually going to go through my hand. I'm going to get rid of this Toxrill. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, this is great. So now we have Shakedown Heavy. We have the fight rigging. So I think that I'm going to go for Blade. We're going to go Shakedown Heavy first. They could have removal for this. It is monocolor, so let's actually, yeah, it's probably... but I want this to die over the fight rigging. So if they have Vanishing Verse, I'd rather them get rid of the Shakedown Heavy now. But this is something they don't really have to deal with. They can just let us draw a card each turn. I'm fine with that too. Goes for the Vanishing Verse. All right, now we should be able to resolve this fight rigging. The other thing too is we're just playing out big creatures and hitting hard. Like that's the other part of this deck that we're trying to go for. I also am getting up to 6 mana here pretty soon for bringing back Toxrill. You know, so like we're in okay shape. So the question now is, do I want to go for fight rigging or for this Gnarled Professor? And I believe it's Gnarled Professor. And I think I want to keep my stuff now. Introduction to Annihilation is not terrible. What else are they going to be going for? This is Esper. Necrotic Fumes isn't terrible. I might just... No, we have plenty of lands right now. Containment Breach. Basic Conjuration could be a way to go digging for some good stuff. So I think it's Basic Conjuration or Introduction to Annihilation. And I think we're just going to have removal in hand. So next turn we get to bring back a Toxrill with this Nullpriest, as long as it doesn't get countered. And otherwise, we just have a big hitter. They're going to have to deal with it. Knives. Ooh, a second fight rigging. We could also play 2 fight riggings, put the counters onto this and swing in, but they guaranteed have removal. So we're going to go and attack in. I'm trying to get them to respond now before we go for anything else. Okay, down to 14. Nullpriest of Oblivion with kicker. And then we have double fight rigging on the next turn if they have to spend their turn here. So the issue here is Obscura, which was actually 4 mana. So they should be able to just bounce this back to hand. They have to have a counter spell. That's the scoop. That's amazing. I love it. On to the next one. Up against the Peanutty Man. And a little bit awkward with tapped land on turn 2, but we do have the ability to play 2 Shambling Ghast, which does ramp us up to fight rigging. We do have Gnarled Professor. This is good enough. Maybe. Fight rigging, just putting a counter onto a creature before combat. I mean, it's really good. Honestly, maybe I need to build up a Luminarch Aspirants version of this as well. Just try to have a few creatures that are bigger, but like Adeline with fight rigging, I think would be amazing. Like there's so many good cards that this could work with. Deadly Dispute is sweet as well. Shambling Ghast, goo. Get out, tap land. We do need to find another land. No attacks past turn. Yeah, I want to be able to Deadly Dispute one of these guys. One. Do I actually kill this, or do I just go for the ramp? You know, maybe we go for double ramp, and we don't care about the Deadly Disputes as much. We just double block. Because then I can go for Gnarled Professor, and that's a good play for next turn. I'm hoping that I can find a land. Diregraf Rebirth for 2 is fun. After just 2 people dying. There it is. There it is. All right, so we are going... let's see here. Yeah, just Gnarled Professor first. Creatures are more important than just fight rigging. Fight rigging is a support card, so we try to play it in the right order with all this stuff. I think it's just environmental sciences here. We need to make sure we hit our lands. I don't know what they're doing really here. Is this red mana? So it is the Jund Obnixilis stuff. Is that blue? Okay, no. This one, I don't know why. This version of this card always makes me think it's blue for some reason. All right, so if things die, environmental sciences. Grab a green source so I can play Storm the Festival. Eventually. So we're at 5 mana. So 1 land and we get to Storm the Festival. So we're going to hold off. I could Deadly Dispute onto the treasure. Try to find that land. We're going to do that probably. Because we'll still make another treasure. Blitzes in. Swings. All the damages in the world. No Obnixilis, which is really nice right now for us. We're going to go ahead, yeah, sacrifice here. There's the land. All right, so we did have it off the top anyway. Eyetwitch. We also just have Diregraf Rebirth to bring back the Gnarled Professor here. I have Eyetwitch, fight rigging, could hold up Deadly Dispute with a treasure. Yeah, just Storm the Festival. It's a good play. We could hit some really good stuff, or we can hit a lot of nothing. Double Shakedown, double Fight Rigging is fun. So we actually get a free spell with Fight Rigging and Shakedown Heavy. So an extra free spell here. Titan of Industry sounds good. Counter there. Yes, we'll get a free Titan of Industry. Okay, why not? Let's go Rhinos. Let's see, how much mana do they have? They can have up to X4. So let's go Shield Counter and Rhino. Let's go on to Titan. There we go. Ooh, yeah, okay, so I was worried about 6 mana for them having the... there's some good stuff they could still be going for sure. We'll block there. What's it called? They could have Meathook Massacre. Shakedown Heavy if they're not... Oh, it's a mirror match! With red for probably the, yeah, going for a really big Obnixilis or something. Super fun. I dig it. I dig it lots. All right, let's go Fight Rigging first. See what we can find off of this. Yeah. Oh, I love this deck. This is good. So I've seen several different versions with like white. I've seen some with red. Ultimately, I feel like what we have here is pretty consistent, and it works with a lot of different things that we're doing. And so I'm hoping it keeps going that way because it's so fun. All right, up against Perro Loco McFly. We have Shakedown Heavy, which is pretty good. Nullpriest of Oblivion. It's just a lifelink with Menace, which can give us some extra time for other things. If we find a way to discard this, we can actually Diregraf Rebirth on turn 5, or saying something dies, like send something in and bring it back earlier. I really like Diregraf Rebirth. This is a fun card. The power level of it is a lot higher than I think I've been thinking over the last while. Like being able to just send something in for damage and then have it, have it do everything for you. Super good. Cloud of Forest past the turn. I was debating if I wanted to try to bring in some Blood in the Snow, but the issue is anything that we really want to be bringing back from the graveyard, it doesn't work as well with everything else here. So let's go Nullpriest of Oblivion. Just got a way to gain some life against a more aggro deck. Shakedown Heavy is going to be a good blocker for us. So it's only when it attacks that they can have us draw a card and have it come back. So having me out as a blocker, going to be sweet. Blue, white. Okay. I like it. I mean, we don't really want all of these cards in our hand, but it's not terrible. We're going to go ahead and swing in some life. They won't trade off. Yeah, down to 18. Dude, I have a toothache that's been really hurting lately, and it's getting to the point where like my ear is hurting. So this on my ear is getting a little bit painful. Wow, what good cards to start out with. We need a Toxrill and fast. How do we do that? So I could go for this Takenuma, whatever. I think right now they actually probably want us to attack in with this Shakedown Heavy. Because they can just attack back for more aggressively. I need to use this so that I can fill our graveyard to be able to get something back with Diregraf Rebirth. But that's also the land that we need to do it. So, and I do want to get to Tovolar's Huntmaster. That's another way to kind of like be okay here, is flip this around, start having everything fight. And we could come out on top eventually. So the question is, do I attack in here? And I think the answer is yes. Are they fine trading off with one guy? Yes, probably, but it has Menace. I can take one hit here. This is a tough choice. Do I hold on to this land, or do I use it to fill the graveyard for Diregraf Rebirth? Which would give us less chance of finding lands potentially as well. We could mill over all the things that we're actually wanting. And we'd bring what back? A creature or planeswalker back to hand. We have a lot of things that aren't creatures or planeswalkers as well. So that's, I think we're actually just going for this. I don't even know what we're doing here. We're looking for a way to learn. They've had lots of good cards. They have an answer for fight rigging on board. Although we should be able to trigger it right away as well. So 2 counters onto one guy so they can swing in here. I think I just have to try to get lucky with this land. It's in the green. Shambling Ghast. It's a lot of damage. We're gonna say no blocks. I want this up for a lifelink blocker later. Fight rigging is really nice. That's really nice. Okay, great job. So yeah, it was the right play. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's so bad. So I might just need to go for the land here, is what's dumb. So this is additional cost. So I need to have a creature to actually be able to use with this. Eyetwitch, the land could be nice just to be able to play it out, but like we don't actually, it says that we can play the card without paying its mana cost. So if we've already played a land, which we haven't in this turn, and we play out Shambling Ghast. Oh, this is brutal. So counter onto Shakedown Heavy, activate, sacrifice you, get rid of a Luminarch Aspirant. And we're still so close to dead. All right, Storm the Festival is a little bit nice. No attacks. Luckily, we at least have a life linker here to be blocking with, so that pads our life total a tiny, tiny bit. And they also might not be able to attack as aggressively this turn as they want, unless they have something like Maul the Skyclaves or some way to bounce or do whatever else. This is bad. So what do you think they're going to have more of? Like something like Fading Hope so they can bounce stuff to be able to get in for more damage, or Slip Out the Back so they can protect their stuff against board wipes, because there's tons of those. Mihig Massacres, Doom Scars, Depopulates, Farewells, everything. I'm guessing it's going to be more of the... it might just be both. It might just be like a full-on, really cheap deck. They don't need that many lands, so they could probably run 2 or 3 of each. Attacks full-on. Having another fight rigging could be nice to run into. What's our best draws off the top? We kill Limerick Aspirant. We kill this. We take... we can't do that. I could keep Nullpriest of Oblivion alive. It could be nice. We can Shakedown Heavy alive. Not possible. Oy. Land into Tovolar Huntmaster is not bad. I guess that's our dream right now. That is the ultimate dream. And then being able to have turns. Yeah, so they go for Hopeful Initiate. They're getting rid of power, which is sweet. They are getting rid of all of our board as well, though. Yeah, all the damage to our face they kept. Up to 3. Yeah. Oh, we did find the land. Tovolar Huntmaster. They get to put enough counters onto things. If I could have found a way to get a Toxrill in the graveyard, I would now have Diregraf Rebirth. The one of them have 1 blocker, not enough. So yeah, it's just Storm the Festival. What can that get us? If we get a Shakedown Heavy, a fight, no, I don't think we have any way we can do it. If I find a Wrenn and Seven and a fight rigging, I could buff there as well. On board, this is still keeping us alive. Just barely, but it is working. So let's do this, pass the turn. Guys, this is scurry stuff right here. Scurry stuff. Super aggro on the draw. And then they had the nut draw too, like 2 Monk of the Opening Hands and 2 Limerick Aspirants. Anything from that point on that's action is busted. Yeah. That is game, right? All right, good game. Yeah, they just attack and we don't have a way to block that. They get in for 3 damage with these guys and everything else, so all sorts of done. That seems like a good deck as well. Monk of the Open Hand is powerful. All right, I mean, not an amazing hand, but we can keep it, so we'll do that. We get the Deadly Disputes and Shambling Ghast, which could end up being the best hand of all time, but we don't have tons of things to be doing with this hand initially. That's what I'm trying to say. Hunt for specimens. All right, so this is Arcane Bombardment, so we need to win fast. Lair of the Hydra. Let's see, they have the Teachings of the Archaics. Let's pass turn. We'll go Deadly Dispute here. No reason to kill their stuff. Get the treasure. Just try to ramp up. Try to win as fast as possible here. Toxrill. We want to get to the graveyard. Pass to my turn. We do have Shakedown Heavy, which is that is aggression, which is nice. Next turn we have Tovolar's Huntmaster as well. So like we are actually putting a ton of power on the battlefield here too, as well. Last turn. So I'm not wanting to Deadly Dispute this. I'm hoping that for the removal that they don't have as many things that will kill this. What's this again? Discard unless there are 5 or more mana values among cards in the graveyard. Hagra Mauling. Yeah, we don't stop that. So yeah, this is CGB's version of Arcane Bombardment, I believe. Down to 19, past my turn. Pay 3 life. Huntmaster. Fight rigging is kind of interesting there. Yeah, there we go. Honestly, dude, just a Golgari mid-range is still super powerful, and fight rigging works really well with that anyway. Maybe we don't even care about bringing stuff back from the graveyard and just go for like ramp instead. Like, we have quite a few cards that are helping us get stuff out from the graveyard, but if we switch those out for just ramp, I'm actually curious how powerful this could be, because then we could add in Eska's Chariots, which are already powerful. We can add in Meat Hook Massacres, which would be really good. With Toxrill, that could be super powerful as well. And so there's just a lot of super powerful effects and things we could do. Fight rigging, go. Could have let this flip around, but we definitely want to get the free spell here. Try for it at least. Storm the Festival, beautiful. Please don't kill this Tovolar's Huntmaster. Don't bounce it right now. Please let it resolve. Don't be a meanie face. Yes. Storm the Festival. Well, 2 lands gets me to Toxrill. These come in untapped. They do. I do actually want another green source at some point there, so holding off on those. That gives us more mana. Attacking. And now we have a big layer of the Hydra available too, so we should be able to, yeah, hopefully have enough to kill them here before too long. Pest. Dead. Shambles. Go. We're going to go for Deadly Dispute. Question. Oh, did I not lock the door? You want to work with me? Oh. You want to watch a show while you work with me? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I have to make sure I hit the mute button as fast as possible now. You want that one? Yeah. You like Leo the truck? Oh, sorry. Sound off. Sorry, guys. You like this one? Oh, you don't like this one? Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha. Deadly Dispute. Which side did they choose? 5 damage. Okay. Create a treasure. Dude, this is feeling so good. And then we still have the Tovolar Huntmaster. We have Toxrill, which I'm not sure will be as useful here. It's just making sure I can find a way to kill them. I think it's going to be more important. Going fast. Stuff in the graveyard. Do have a Shakedown Heavy I can bring back. Maybe I do just go for Toxrill just for the sake of having a 7/7 to hit in with on the next turn. It's another thing that's going to be difficult for them. Flipping this around was the question. Like, I'm debating if I should be flipping around the Toxrill, the Tovolar Huntmaster, but I know for their deck, they're pretty heavy on making the burn down the house has to be kind of like their main way to win. Or they have the invoke whatever. So having 2 big creatures that can stop that is pretty nice. And we got there. Sweet. Have you? You're gonna go to the store with mommy. All right, guys. This deck is actually, oh, it's insane. It's so good. So I had 1 loss there between everything else. So let's see here. So yeah, I had a 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in this video, 1 loss. And so then, yeah, this is in great shape. Let's see, fight rigging. Where is this one? So yeah, 5-1, 4 times on the draw as well, 100% on the draw, which is insane. The 1 loss we had, what was that up against? It was against a super aggro deck. We were on the play against it, actually. So I thought I was on the draw, but we were on the play against it. And I mean, that's just a matter of finding the right stuff. And this is what I was talking about. Like, if we had plenty of these Eyetwitches, Shambling Ghast out on like to block with, when that time all we had was the Nullpriest of Oblivion, which is something we don't typically want for those early games, early turns. If we had these guys out for that game, I think we would have been able to be just fine. Getting out Shakedown Heavy and a fight rigging. Like, so like if we comboed off, I mean, if we had won, we would have won, you know, but Toxrill would have been busted against that matchup if we'd been able to get up to it. And so it's one of those, like, I feel like that is a bad matchup for us, but I still feel like we're like 45, 48% to win. They might be a little bit higher, but not enough. So this deck is really sweet. I really like it. I like how much we have access to our sideboard here as well between Eyetwitch and Gnarled Professor. That felt awesome. I think I've undervalued a Gnarled Professor here as well. I've seen it value against me lots of times, but I always feel like there's better 4-drops, there's better other things. And this is the kind of deck that it really works well with when you have the ability to bring stuff back from the graveyard, being able able to just discard from hand and then draw something else. So between Eyetwitch and that, we were able to kind of filter through our hand, not very well, but between Shambling Ghast and Deadly Dispute, we were ramping like crazy with Wrenn. And so the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out is I feel like we just needed a tiny bit more ramp. Which, I mean, getting up to 6 mana for Storm of the Festival can help us find lands. We have Shambling Ghast, Deadly Dispute to get us up to 6 mana one time, and then hopefully we can find more mana for it. But 22 lands here, and Agadeem's Awakening, Turntimber Symbiosis. I think we got lucky with how many lands we actually found throughout these games. I feel like it's normally going to be much harder. Wrenn and Seven, I really like to be able to find us lands, be able to go through that process of, okay, once we get to 5 mana, we can kind of go off. But I just need something else. So I talked about this a lot as I was playing, but I think that there's some fixes that needs to happen with this deck, and I'm not sure what they are. I liked how many of these that we had. I felt like we were going to run into them. Titan of Industry can be a one of. It's so good, though. It's such a good card, and getting up to it is sweet. Yeah, like I was saying, I think we just kind of needed some sort of ramp up to stuff. I liked the Nullpriest of Oblivion. I liked the Diregraf Rebirth. Eyetwitch, Shambling Ghast, maybe you can go down to 2 Eyetwitches and add in some ramp. You could add in, I have no clue what you add in here. Deadly Dispute was great for ramp. It was great for card draw. Like, the deck worked out fine. So maybe you just don't change too much. Maybe it's good. We're going to lose some games, but it's a really good deck. I just feel like for competitive wise, I don't think you run this in a tournament unless it's something that just really like fits in. No one's expecting it. No one's running cards that deal with this. Then this is great. But I think that there are some other matchups out there that are hard. Actually, in the format right now, I'm not really sure what's the Esper deck is harder because they're so resilient, but we also hit hard enough that they're not going to be resilient enough, I don't think. And Toxrill cuts out all of the tokens, so as long as we have something hit the battlefield and stick for a little bit, it's gonna be fine. I guess the question is, maybe you go into blue for like Jin Gataxias. Yeah, Jin Gataxias could be something that you go in for. You splash blue for, do whatever else. But those are like, when are you going to run into it? Are you going to run into it on the game that you really needed it? Maybe, maybe not. There's enough enchantments that are being played right now that this stops artifacts, instants, and sorceries, which does stop farewells, does stop a lot of important things that could stop us, but we can rebuild after those. I think okay. And Jin, I don't think was, yeah. So I'm not sure what you do. I'm not sure what you do. I think this deck is as pretty solid as is. The amount of lands we found, I think that you need to probably find spots for 1 or 2 more lands. Either in the mana base, like the modal lands, maybe you go for a Hagra Mauling. Hagra Mauling could be a good extra addition to this deck, just for some extra removal. I don't think you go over 22 with these lands because that was working out, but I think you just add in 1 or 2 more lands here. And even if it is creatures that you go for, with this as well, like lands here. This is the way I find the modal lands the easiest for me. There's ways to type it in, whatever, but I just always found that's simpler. Tingle for Agent could be nice. It actually works really well with Deadly Dispute. It works as an extra land for you. You can go for Balagad Recovery, bringing stuff back to hand as well. So these are the cards that I feel like we could bring into this deck to make it a little bit more powerful. But then you still want, I think, more Wrenn and Sevens. I think you want one Eska's Chariot in the deck, and all those things work really well. So I don't know, guys. I think there's a ton of really fun value in this deck. I think it's good. I think that, that's the other one too. Tenacious Underdog should be in here as well. Yeah, Tenacious Underdog would be a phenomenal card in here. You could go into red for, because you're sacrificing enough stuff in the early game anyway to add in like 1 or 2 Obnixilis, and then there's lots of good stuff in red as well. I don't know, guys. There's so many good cards you could throw into this deck, and I think that this deck, the version I have here was like the bare meat and like the meat and potatoes of everything. And what you add to the sides, I'm not sure which things you need to take out that really will eliminate how consistent this is. Because I feel like it was consistent because we had the Shakedown Heavy, we had the Gnarled Professor, we had Wrenn and Seven to give us another 5/5. We had the ability to ramp up the Tovolar's Huntmaster with Shambling Ghast and Deadly Dispute. But those things could also not happen, and then I don't know. So anyway, I'm done talking. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are looking for more of. I'm toning down how many videos I'm doing right now, just because my wife and I are trying to switch how we're doing some work stuff, and especially with we don't need to dive into everything, but I'm trying to make sure I'm still getting videos out for you guys, but I am definitely slowing myself down here, just because it's been 4 years since I started this, and I'm getting a little bit burnt out on Magic. I absolutely still love it, but I want to be able to start doing other things. And for me, I need a chance to stop being vulnerable for a little bit so I can heal, because that's the thing that's hardest with all this stuff, is that when you're vulnerable, and everything in the world requires you to be vulnerable, but putting videos out is something that's it still is vulnerability. And when you're trying to heal and you're still putting yourself out there in vulnerable places, it makes it really difficult to heal. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, is I'm trying to let myself heal for a little bit. My wife is going to be looking for some remote work so I can be taking care of the kids all the time, working on a Saturday, getting some videos up for you guys. And so we can kind of do that working together, but it's all for the intention of me being able to get back and do more content. Maybe not as much Magic in the future, but I'm still going to have Magic be a big part of what I'm doing here. So I'm just letting you guys know what's possible, but no promises on anything. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being around and sticking here. I have made so many friends through comments. I've made so many friends through the times I do stream and do whatever else. I really appreciate all you guys, and I appreciate you sticking through and, you know, staying subscribed, even though I've not been as consistent with my content. But I hope you guys all understand, and I appreciate you. And bye-bye. On to the next one.